Well, folks, I'm going to do something a little different for my long journeys and shortroads.com blog, website, whatever you want to call it. I've been in the habit of doing book reviews by hand, and this time I want to try and do something a little bit different. I want to try and talk about a book review and talk about a book and recommend a book. I've been reading Stephen King's Duma, and I just finished it up a few days ago. I'm currently working on the short story that's in the back. It's a bonus section called The Cat from Hell. And the book looks like this. And there's the back, the man himself, Mr. King. If you are watching this, Mr. King, thank you for another great book. Thank you for inspiration. Thank you for giving me the drive to become a writer. It was because of your words and the way you put stuff together that I took on the writing journey, and it really opened up that side of me that I never thought existed. I never thought about being a writer, but looking back over my childhood days, I saw that I did do a lot of writing, a lot more than I remember doing. So I guess that ghost or that writing demon has always been there since day one. So it just took King to bring it out of me. And if you do like Stephen King, my style is similar to him. I think it's one of those things where you don't copy a writer, but you sort of emulate him. And some of the tricks he does, I really like. So I use some of those in my books. But you know, I just like the way he leaves you hanging sometimes. You're reading along and you're like, oh no, I got to read the next section before find out what's happening after that. I like that. I think that's pretty cool, pretty neat. And I've seen other writers do that too, not just King, but King is one of the better ones at it. Another reason why I love Anne Rice and why I read her stuff is for that same reason. I like the way she leaves you hanging, and the way she grabs you and takes you on a journey like that. But this is about Duma and about what I thought about it. And I got to say, this was the first book I've ever read from him that he isn't in his native Maine. He isn't in his native North, where he's so comfortable and so happy to be at home at. Uh, and I'd say I was a little bit skeptical of how he could pull it off. I mean, that's tough for a writer to get out of his comfort zone and to do a completely different location. But I'm here to tell you, folks, he did it. It's a 4-star book. I would give it easily 4 stars. It grabbed me. I couldn't put it down half the time. I read it quick. Like I said, I love reading Anne Rice and some other authors out there, but King once again proves in this story that why he is the man he is. I mean, Duma starts out with a man having a tragedy and losing an arm and going through all the trials and tribulations of that, and then he turns, to a getaway and goes down to Duma and decides to hang out there for a little bit and try and get his life together and get his act back together. And he finds he's a very prolific painter once he gets there. This was something the lead character had in him the whole time, but he had stifled it and put it to the side while he got his life together, raised his family, did what he did. It wasn't until he got to Duma that he realized that, hey, I'm really good at this. So he started painting and drawing and doing all this stuff like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it was just a frantic pace, only to find out that Mr. King had some tricks up his sleeve, like he always does. And a story starts out like that, there's going to be a but to it. And boy, was there ever a but to this one. And I won't go into spoilers or anything and tell you anything about it, but King really crafted another great story. I don't know what this is for him now, Doom McKee. I think it's got to be somewhere in the 30s, maybe early 40s for the number of books that this one for the number 40 for the number that this book is at. Got to be in that range somewhere. Because I know he's done 50 books by now. It says in the back here, so I think Doom McKee's got to be somewhere around 40. Since I got a little tongue tied there, but I want to go on record as just recommending this. I want to go on record as letting you know that go out and find this book and read it. Curl up with it and enjoy it. King puts you on a roller coaster ride, and he does what he always does so well. He starts out, he hooks you really quick, then he gives you the thickness of the middle. He gives you the plot and the details, and he kind of bogs down there, and he kind of just takes you on that part. He's like, okay, we've got to get through this part, so go ahead and let's go together. And then all of a sudden it just flips a switch, and it's a roller coaster to the very end. King is so great about doing that. He hooks you, he gives you what you want, and then he just puts you on a roller coaster that makes you not want to put it down to the very end. I wish and I hope and I think my books do that, but who knows? Um, anyways, got to give Duma a big recommendation. Got to give it a thumbs up, and I just wanted to try and do something a little different for this blog today, and I hope you do enjoy these literary podcasts. But Duma 4 stars, highly recommend it. Stephen King has once again wrote another great book, and if you love his stuff, you'll love this book. And if you don't love his stuff, you probably won't. But you probably won't watch this podcast, and you probably won't even attempt to read this book. So go out, check out Duma, and I honestly can't wait to read the next one by him, which is, I think I have upstairs. It's Full Dark, No Stars, or No Stars, Full Dark. I can't think of the name of it. And then I might go back and revisit It, which is probably my favorite book by Stephen King. So I hope to maybe read some more King, and maybe do some more of these on King, or do some more write-ups on King. But anyways, that's about it for today. Check out longjourneysandshortroads.com. You'll find haikus, poems, and my short stories, and you'll also find my ebooks. And if you are so inclined, swing on over to Amazon Kindle and pick up one of them. I've got a few short stories up there. But anyways, that's about it. Hope everything is well out there in your world, wherever you're watching this from. And my favorite saying is keep moving forward, so I'm going to close it on that. Keep moving forward, and this time move forward and go to the bookstore or the library or wherever and pick up Duma. It's a 4-star book, and Mr. King deserves all the praise he deserves for it. Later.